So petitioning. That's petitioning and getting your matter redressed. That's the first duty. The second duty is to investigate. The most powerful authority I have on that topic. It is the proper duty of a representative body to look diligently in every affair of government and talk much about what it sees. It is meant to be the eyes, the ears, the voice to embody the wisdom and will of its constituents. Unless Congress have and use every means of equating itself with the acts and disposition of the administrative agents of government, the country must be helpless to learn how it is being served. And unless Congress both scrutinize these things and sift them from every form of discussion, the country must remain in embarrassing, crippling ignorance of the very affairs which is most important and they should understand and direct. The informing function of Congress should be preferred even to the legislative function. It is the duty, the power of your legislature to haul in front of its committees and haul in front of the whole body, if need be, the executive, to grill them, to cross-examine, subpoena, ask, how are you spending my money? What are you doing? To look over them. Does everybody here remember the Madoff scandal? And this is something where I get back to, where it said the executive and judiciary are few in number, the legislature, on the other hand, is numerous. We have more federal agencies now than we have reps in Congress. So when you see the SEC and you see various members downloading pornography, using federal computers, and I guess that was the light side. You had lawyers who weren't even current with the bar to prosecute people for security fraud. You had members of the SEC who weren't even able to investigate. They were running their own businesses. And you had whistleblowers going to the SEC as many as 5 times, finally giving up and saying, we're not going to the New York Fed, we're now going to the Boston SEC. Because we believe Madoff owns the New York department. And them getting ignored. These guys had solid evidence this guy couldn't have been doing what he was doing. There was no way. He had to be running a Ponzi scheme at least 5 times. Solid evidence. And no one. And the reality is Congress didn't even have enough members to investigate the SEC to see if they were actually, name all your alphabet soup. The EPA, the IRS. Are these agencies being investigated? Are they actually saying, were you damaged by that agency? We have a petition here. No, doesn't even happen. And that is the central figure, the most important aspect of a legislature. It has to be numerous enough to grill these people. It has to be numerous enough to call these. And I'm here to tell you, it's been 100 years since the U.S. House has increased in size. 100 years. If we tripled the U.S. House, it is my belief that numerous federal agencies would disappear now, right like that, and should. These federal agencies, as at the state level too, they start competing with regular business. Not only do they get us to pay taxes to support them, they start running their competition out. And then all of a sudden they start demanding more and more money for their retirement accounts. And on the other side, since they're not being investigated, they're certainly not doing their duty. So we're paying people effectively to not do what they're supposed to be doing. And in the worst case scenarios, we have government agencies that are actually facilitating the people who are damaging us. And I always stop and I say, I'm making it up. Can't be that bad, can it? And we see this stuff in the paper every day. It goes on all the time. You want to stop it? You increase representation. Okay, let me see here. Another great quote, Jefferson. Jefferson, in a letter to Madison dated December 20th, 1787, posed the question whether peace is best preserved by giving energy to the government or information to the people, and then answered, this last is the most certain and most legitimate engine of government. So we have Jefferson in a letter to Madison saying that giving information to the citizens is the most legitimate engine of government. It is the most legitimate function. And yet that is the one thing that we don't get. We don't get any information. I like going back to that other quote. We are in embarrassing, crippling ignorance to the very affairs that we should understand. Let me see here.